What attracted you to Deja Vu?
I hadn't seen anything like this. I knew if anybody could pull it off, it would be Tony Scott and Jerry Bruckheimer. And they did. And it's everything and more that I could imagine. You know, it's a very different twist on time travel, on surveillance, what it's capable of. You know, is that already happening? Yes, a lot of it is. And a love story in reverse.
Yes.
Fall in love with somebody who's already gone, right, and getting to know them from 4 days ago. No, it's confusing, but it's interesting.
Tell me what it was like the first time you read that script.
How are they going to do this? How are we going to pull this off? Can we pull this off? And even right up to watching the movie the Monday night, because so much of it I'm not there, you know, and I hadn't seen all the elements, you know, and I think Tony did a masterful job.
What surprised you about the final product?
Usually I see a film I've done, it's about, okay, let's see how he executed this, because you know what's coming. But I didn't know what's coming. I knew what I shot and I knew what I read, but there's so much of the film that he had to layer and put together, and the execution of it, it was surprising and it was shocking and it was entertaining. So it was one of, I probably enjoyed this movie as much as any film that I've done and been in, where I really didn't know how it's, you know, even without giving away anything, the whole thing that happens in the beginning with the boat, I didn't see any of that. I knew what it said on the page, but I didn't know it was going to be as devastating as it was and powerful as it was in the movie.
I think the fact that it's suspense, it's romance, it's humor, and it's a unique story. I haven't seen a movie like this ever. You know, so I always like to do things that are fresh, and this is fresh.
You mentioned something very interesting about it, and while you can look at it as being a, you know, a very high-tech thriller, and it's got a very complex story, I think at its heart, it's a love story.
It is. Exactly right. You know, Denzel falls in love with this beautiful young actress named Paula Patton. Who anybody fall in love with, I would.
Ah. And, you know, the process of watching that film, and part of the enjoyment is Denzel, and his character is so easygoing, and he seems so perfect. I mean, right off the bat, when you read the script, did you see him in this role?
I see Denzel in everything. I think he's so talented. You know, I love working with him, and you know, we approached him and we got Tony Scott, who we'd worked with before, as our director. He did Crimson Tide with Denzel, and so he's done other movies with Denzel, Man on Fire. So it's a great director. I've worked with him 6 times. So it's wonderful to get the whole team back together again.
In seeing the final product, what surprised you?
I think the amount of humor. I didn't realize how much humor we put in the movie. And the laughter and the breaking the tension, I think, was fantastic.